All right, so on the surface, the FIU football team is having an absolute dream season. But if you look a little closer, you'll see they're not just playing for this year. Oh no, they are building for the future. So let's break down exactly what they're doing.
First things first, let's get some context. FIU is having a phenomenal year. I mean, they're sitting at a ridiculous 8-1, which puts them right at the top as a contender for the Conference USA title. There's no doubt about it, they are one of the teams to beat.
And they're getting it done on both sides of the ball, you know? The offense is just explosive, putting up points like crazy. And the defense, they have a real knack for creating turnovers at the most critical moments. It's this really balanced attack that has them firing on all cylinders.
But that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? When you're already at the top of your game, how in the world do you get even better? Well, for FIU, the answer is all about looking past today's scoreboard and finding those hidden weaknesses.
So just how good is this team right now? Well, the offensive firepower this season has been, to put it mildly, exceptional. We're seeing key players putting up career-best numbers across the board.
And this dominance? It's everywhere you look. You've got quarterback Keon Jenkins with over 2,100 yards and 16 touchdowns. Running back K'Jon Ovens is a complete nightmare for defenses, racking up over 1,300 total yards. Then, on the other side of the ball, Keyshawn Brewer is a turnover machine with 7 interceptions, and Steven Shannon is practically living in the opponent's backfield with 8 sacks. This team is absolutely loaded.
But, and this, right here, is what separates the good teams from the truly great programs. The coaching staff isn't just smiling and looking at the scoreboard. No, they're in the film room, and they're identifying those tiny, subtle cracks in the armor that could turn into major problems down the line.
So even with that shiny 8-1 record, if you look closely, you start to see some potential issues. The interior of the offensive line can be vulnerable. The linebacker group is a little thin. They're missing a certain type of receiver, and the defensive backfield, well, it could use some depth. These are the quiet problems that can totally derail a championship run if you don't address them. And that is where the future comes in. See, FIU's 2025 recruiting class isn't just a random list of talented high school kids. It's a strategic master plan, with every single recruit targeted to fix a specific weakness.
Okay, let's start with the biggest issue, the one they had to fix, the offensive line. I mean, despite all the success on offense, the interior has been shaky, letting pressure through and not always opening up running lanes. This was, without a doubt, priority number 1.
And their solution? It wasn't a Band-Aid. It was a total rebuild. They went out and brought in 4 new guys to shore up that interior. You've got Deacon Vilma and Kyle Kendricks at center, plus Kevin De La Rosa and Cortez Shore, bringing in some serious power and depth. This is a massive injection of talent designed to create a ton of competition right where they need it most. And if you dig a little deeper here, you can really see the genius of this strategy. They brought in 2 high-level guys for the exact same position, center, to force immediate competition. You have Vilma, who's a really well-rounded player with huge upside, and then you have Kendricks, who's a more polished pass protector. This internal battle is only going to make the entire O-line that much stronger.
All right, next problem on the list. A massive hole is about to open up right in the heart of their defense. Their star linebacker, Johnny Chaney Jr., the team's leading tackler, by the way, is graduating. You just can't easily replace that kind of production and leadership. Well, their answer has a name. Matthew Bargava. He's an incredibly instinctive linebacker who has all the athletic traits you look for, and he's expected to compete for that starting job from day 1. This isn't just filling a spot, this is a targeted replacement for Chaney.
Okay, now let's talk about a more subtle need. The offense is great, it's explosive, but it's missing a specific type of weapon. They just don't have that big, physical receiver who can go up and win a 50-50 jump ball in the end zone or on a crucial 3rd down.
Enter Dalvin Medlock. He is exactly that guy. At 6'2", he is a contested catch specialist. He brings a whole new physical dimension to this passing game that they just don't have right now, and that makes an already dangerous offense even tougher to defend.
And finally, let's talk about that thin defensive backfield. Look, you can't expect to win a championship if you're one sprained ankle away from a full-blown crisis in your secondary. By bringing in guys like Daniel Labor, Jean Muamba, and Ramon Granger, FIU is building a safety net. They're adding quality depth and more competition. So, when you step back and put all of these different pieces together, a really clear picture starts to form. This isn't about just reloading for next season.
This is about building a sustainable program that can compete for championships year in and year out.
So what's the big takeaway here? This recruiting class shows a clear commitment to fixing these issues. It's a statement. I mean, that shows an incredible level of self-awareness. To be able to celebrate your success in the moment while also strategically attacking your future weaknesses. That's how you build something special.
And all of this leaves us with one big, fascinating question. When you combine a team that's this dominant in the present with a future that's been so strategically built, are we watching the foundation of a Conference USA dynasty being laid right now? Look, only time will tell, right? But you got to admit, every single move they're making, it suggests that is the exact plan.